Okay, here we have the install of ACS manually on a managed Openshift cluster. So the first thing we do is create the namespace needed for the operator. Then what we do is we need to create the operator CR. What we can do then is also create the subscription. And while the subscription is happening, we can just check for the deployment to come up. So it can take a moment. Let's use the OC command to get the cluster version first. Yeah, and you can see now that we have installed the Red Hat Advanced Cluster Security Operator 442. So our next mission is to create a central on cluster. And in order to do that, we need to apply this directly on cluster. Okay, and now we can start watching. So we can actually do this as in the UI, and we can do that in the this as in the UI, or we can create a central in like manually on cluster via the CLI. Let's take a quick look in the UI and have a look at what's happening. So you can see now here that Advanced Cluster Security 442 is installed. And if we go into centrals, we'll see that central has been initialized. So if I actually take a look at the Red Hat namespace, the operator namespace for RHACS, we can see what's happening here. So bear with me. I'll eventually get this right. Too many windows open while recording. Yeah, so excellent. We're seeing scanners initializing. We can see that central is up and running. We can also see that the operator controller is up and running. So it takes a while for scanner to initialize, especially the DB part. So let's keep an eye. So our central component is responsible for managing the UI and the Red Hat Advanced Cluster Security portal. So that's what we're waiting for. Once everything's come up, we'll be able to actually access the Red Hat Advanced Cluster Security portal. And then our next step would be to create a secure cluster. And then what we can do then is connect the cluster. We would download an init bundle for the secure cluster, whether we use the operator init bundle format or the RHACS CLI bundle format or Helm, and we use then that init bundle to deploy our sensor and into another cluster, and then connect via that init bundle to, well, the sensor will connect to our secure cluster hosted on this my cluster here, essentially. Yeah, so it's still taking a while. So now we have that cluster update initialized. So the scanner is online. OC get routes should give us the route for the central UI. And there's our new central UI. So let's go check that out. So it'll take a while to come online. Normally takes a few minutes. So there's a secret present in cluster. that give you the credentials for the UI in the same namespace. If that you deployed the operator into, that you deploy, one deploys the central into. And the secret is pretty obvious. It's called central HTTP password. So accessing that or base 64 decoding that secret will give you the credentials to log into central UI. And once that's online, then you can create your secure cluster either via the operator, so you can actually go in here and create a secure cluster. So we can create that in the same namespace. I think we can actually just accept the defaults here. Let's try that. There are some specific settings you can change. You can Kubernetes auto log inspection, so you can set that to auto. That should be auto anyway, or you can disable it if you're using another auditing mechanism, but I wouldn't, because ACS returns cluster and node alerts, and it needs to be able to scan on a per node basis. So now we have a secure cluster being initialized as well. Okay, I'll leave it there. So the next step as well would be then to deploy, either download and create an init bundle and deploy sensor to your Kubernetes cluster running Kubernetes Goat, or you can deploy Kubernetes code into the same cluster, and then Scanner would automatically start scanning and look for, categorize all those critical vulnerabilities that Scanner has out of the box, essentially.